doesn't surprise me at all. Now, does that sound like sensible trading to you? Does that sound like something you want to do? Everyone says, I don't care, I'll take the heat, I want the maximum return. And I will just quote to you Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. You've all heard that too. No, you won't. No, you won't. You care a lot more. You just don't realize it until you're in the drawdown. And then you can deny it. You can lie to everyone and tell us you don't care. But yeah, you care. And you should. So yeah, I've got nothing good to say. I'm just sorry. I'm going to get ostracized here worse than I am. But I have nothing good to say about Larry Williams and his bullshit 50% plus drawdown fucking nonsense, because that's not reality. I hope. I know nothing about the guy other than the stories that we've all heard, this one included. I hope he's wised up since then.
Because he was, using optimal left. So, or not, he wasn't using optimal left, but he was using a derivation of it. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, you got to deal with massive drawdowns. You could potentially blow up because you don't have unlimited bank, and if your stats are wrong, you're probably gonna get in deep trouble. So you got to almost be a little bit more conservative.
Okay, again, I'm gonna pound this home. Optum Left doesn't help you, because by the time you start losing a lot of money, it is going to update and it's going to tell you to bet a whole lot less. So there again, this blow up thing. Now, if you're following it, recalculating on every trade, that's not going to happen. But what is going to happen, and you're going to see this here, is both on the Kelly and the optimal F, that F value varies wildly. Wildly. So it's doing its best to keep you on the right side of not blowing up, not going to zero. So again, if you're following the rules you're supposed to, you're not going to do these, get to the point where you can't bet, which would mean you'd have to lose something close to like 98% of your bankroll. And then you actually can't enter. And again, I'm going to use the example of a futures trade because you don't have the margin left. Yeah, highly unlikely. And I would say not at all likely if you're recalculating Optimal F and Kelly upon every trade.
Yeah, I mean, I've read about Optimal F, but I haven't actually used it. So it seems to me that the solution there is if you have $1,000,000, you only open an account with $10,000, and then you use Optimal.
Yeah, now we enter in. I skimmed some of this before. We enter into a whole pile of dumb shit talking. You have $1,000,000, you put 10,000, and then you do what? Sounds like a gamble. You're not doing Optimal F. If you are, you don't understand Optimal F or anything in the whole Kelly criteria debate. This is crazy. This is all crazy talk. This is the type of guy, and I don't know if whose podcast this is, if it's Asian guys or white guys. Yeah, we're just going to go there because I don't have time to care enough to figure it out. I think it's maybe white guy. I don't know. He's taking the lead here. I don't know if it's his podcast or he's the guest, but Asian guy here. Jesus, just zero clue what he's talking about when it comes to trading. If you got $1,000,000, you take 10,000. That sounds like you're taking 10,000 and you're just going to blast the wad however you want, and you're not following Kelly or Optimal or friggin' anything. You're just trying to shoot the wad and play a lottery ticket. None of this makes any sense.
F on that and not use it on the entire $1,000,000, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. And
white boy here is just going along for the ride. He's mailing it in. His brain is shut off here at this point. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know what? You are allowed to disagree with somebody when they say something that is just obviously wrong. I don't know what the problem is. People get all offended, but Jesus, if you don't disagree and make a point, okay, you're going along, you're complicit with the nonsense, and that's not the way to be. Let's continue.
You can use Safe F if you can estimate or guesstimate what your max drawdown will be.
No, we're going to get into what Safe or Secure F is, and you're not estimating any drawdown. Again, it's not how it works. This guy knows nothing about Secure F.
Your max loss. So then in that case, you could use Safe F, which is a little bit more conservative, but still quite aggressive compared to what most people are used to. So it's always going to depend on your win rate, right? So,
all right. So is Secure more aggressive? I don't know. Are these Kelly bet sizes more aggressive? I think in general, I'm going to say yes. And the reason why is we're using futures. And so I can stare at this stuff every friggin' day, and I know the size of the bets they want us to put on, just the notional size. I've mentioned this before in other videos. And yes, the notional size is a lot larger than I think what a lot of people would be used to. I don't know. I'm used to these sizes and, bigger sizes. Maybe they make my eyeballs open a little wider. But generally, I would say it's a little bigger than what most people would be comfortable with initially. Sure. But what he's saying about SecureF is completely out to lunch.
If you have a higher win rate strategy.
Oh yeah. That's what I was going to say. He says it's all about your win rate. Well, yes and no. It's not just your win rate. It's your win rate affects it, sure, but an equal input is the volatility when it comes to SecureF here. The volatility of your trades, they're individual trades. So it's not just win rate, it's the size of your wins, it's the size of your losses, it's the order they come in. Okay, so he's simplifying it. Now the reason why is because he doesn't understand it. It's just not about your win rate. To say that is to exclude all these other factors that matter just as much, and oftentimes more.
It typically will require you to bet more of your account on each trade. So yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, it's really interesting, I guess. But yeah, what you're saying is what most smart people will do. They'll just break off a bit, and they'll say, okay, look, I'm going to risk my standard fixed fractional 1.35% on my big account, and on the small account, I'm going to get really aggressive, and I'm going to use SafeF or whatever, and I'm going to try and work this up.
I don't know. I'm going to leave that one alone. $1 million account, and to take 10,000, that's pointless. You just may as well not do it at all. So if you're going to segregate or partition your account, your $1 million account, you're going to do 900,000. I don't know why he said your standard 1.35% of your account or whatever. I don't know what it is. And then the other 100,000 on SecureF. Yeah. Okay. To me, that sounds like someone is of two minds and they can't commit. So I think that is mostly a pointless discussion, because get your shit together, commit, follow it, recalculate, do your thing. Pick better values to begin with. I'll get into the details. We're already on, I can tell by the time, I'm going to shoot all this in one, and then I'm going to segregate it into videos, separate videos now, and we're already, it looks like, on video number 2. So we might be going video number 3 before too long.
And if it blows up, okay, I know that my numbers were wrong.
No, if it blows up, again, it's not going to blow up. It's a misunderstanding of what's going on here. You recalculate, and trust me, it will give you much smaller fractions to prevent you from blowing up, dumbass.
Or something, maybe I just ran out of bankroll. I had a terrible losing streak, but it didn't hurt me. I've done that with traders, right? Mm-hmm. Like traders who are really aggressive, we just go, okay, we'll give this guy a little bit, right? Yeah. Because they're consistent, right? They'll make a lot of money, but then they blow up every once in a while. So
okay, what are you doing if you're blowing up every once in a while? That's more than once in your life. That sounds like you're blowing up, every handful of months. As a matter of fact, I skimmed this. I think he's going to talk about it.
It's like, that kind of thing is a good way to, that approach of like breaking off the aggressive, the aggressive account makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then just withdraw. Make sure you withdraw, right? And
yeah.
Start all over again.
Yeah, in fact, the trader I'm thinking of, he convinced his clients to withdraw every day. That's what it was. He was like, okay. And so when we were working with him, we were like, okay, like this is crazy, man, and so we're like, okay, you can have 2% and just go hog wild, right? That sort of thing. But yeah, that was his approach. He literally every day. So he traded New York Open, and every day he would. I mean, he was that consistent, right? Like he was that good. But once in a while, I was like, oh, it's all gone.
Now, do you hear? I hope everyone understands just the rank stupidity being displayed by these two guys, and this is typical of YouTube traders. He's that good, but every once in a while he blows up. Then how fucking good are you? You're not good at all. Christ, the stupidity of people. Now you understand why I get so annoyed by absolute clowns like Two Tick Nick, whose drawdown is probably 95% of his peak, and absolute asshats like Mike Norman, and the list is as long as the friggin' day is. It's ridiculous talk. He's good, but every once in a while he blows up. Then he's worse shit.
Right. So yeah.
I met one woman and I know of another woman who could
There we go.
basically almost double their account every
There you
month,
go.
right?
Right? Because that makes sense, right? Makes perfect sense. Passes the sniff test, right? Doubles your account every month. And what's the next thing out of his mouth? But every once in a while, she'd blow up.
But
Right.
the key was that they were trading $5,000 in their account. And I said, why don't you just put in more? And they said, no, I'm going to blow it out. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
do that. I'm going to double my account, take the money out, and then keep that on the side, pay for my living expenses, and then just, do it again every month.
Right? Because life is that fucking easy. You know 1,000 people. Your neighbor and everyone on either side of you is doing exactly like this, right? Just balls to the wall gambling on a small portion of their money, and they're paying for their living expenses. Sure they are.
And then one woman actually got more money. I think somebody got her like $500,000 or something. And then she almost blew that out
There you go. There you go. There you go. And you'll wonder why 90% of traders lose. Good Lord.
because it was, it was really risky the way she was trading, I guess.
Well, then what's it fucking matter? What's it fucking matter? If you run the risk of blowing up, like truly blowing up, your hands were off the wheel. This was a Jesus take the wheel moment of trading, and that's how your entire trading life was or is in some cases. This is the Nick at Two Tick Nick. Mind this one, real macro. It's a Jesus take the wheel, and he's convinced, or he's trying to convince you that he's right. More on that guy later, but this is exactly the level of ineptitude that you expect to see on YouTube. Not one of these guys will ever do what I do every day for my Patreon subscribers, just as an aside. Give you the exact trades. Matter of fact, I've gotten it down to the point now recently where I'm actually telling people the actual sizes. I'm not even leaving it to let them calculate it on their own, which they can and they have, because I've given them all those tools to get the returns to match damn close to what I'm showing every month. Now what I've done, to be even more explicit, is I'm doing the calculation for them. Now listen, they can take it or leave it, they can have that, they can double that, but I'm actually giving them the calculations per X amount of your account value. And then they can jimmy that from there. And no one gives that level of detail. No one. And tracks it repeatedly so I can go back and we can go over everything if someone needed to, because it's all there, verified, live calls done.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's so crazy, isn't it? I mean, like you see those, it's like when you see those equity curves, like those signal trader providers, and it's like a perfect 45-degree angle.
Yeah, I think we're done here. I'm not going to go, that's just going off crazy town. So let's get to Secure F now, and we're going to, as you can tell, we're going to compare Kelly, Optimal F, and Secure F, and I'm going to tell you the differences of Secure F versus the other two, because there are differences, and that makes all the difference. Okay, finally, actual Secure F. Let's roll. So what you're looking at here is position sizing. So this is the F in Kelly F, Optimal F, and Secure F. So what I've done here is, I would say, a typical trading of an index as far as the variables go. So a 15% annual return and 500 trades. And at trade at 250, all we've done is switch the volatility from 15% to go to 25%. Now, why I did that is because we kept the same annual average 15% return. Now, that may be a little bit much, but I wanted you to be able to see it. So we've zoomed in here on a portion of the scale, and you'll get the flavor of what I'm talking about. So what we start out with is 60 bets. So after bet number 60, we calculate our Kelly fraction. We calculate the optimal F fraction and the secure F fraction. So that's why you see this little gap up until about trade 60. Is you need to put some input into this thing before you can get an F value that isn't so wild it's off the chart and it's meaningless. So you load it with a handful of trades. The more trades the better, but in this case about 60, close enough. So what you'll see here is on the dotted blue line, that's the Kelly F. This is currently at about, what are we talking, trade 80 or 90? Kelly F is the larger F value. So you're betting more because it's above from the y-axis or above from the x-axis, the other two. Right, so what happens is after every trade, we go through and we calculate. So these are random trades on this type set of variables here.